Episode of Foxborough Rush. Travis Thomas and I go through the free agent targets the Patriots should have, because before the draft gets here, it's all about free agency for the Patriots, where they could correct a lot of mistakes on that roster and issues as well. Keegan Stiefel joins the show. You guys know him. He's a familiar guest. We talk Senior Bowl, who's standing out, who's kind of ruining their draft stock, and we have a nice debate over Dylan Gabriel as a quarterback as well. That's Foxborough Rush, wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple, Amazon Prime. You could also watch it on YouTube as well. Now, let's get to the chat. All right.
Chat it up. Come on, chat it up.
Hey.
Come on.
Boston has entered the chat.
Let us in.
For the 200th time. Episode 200, baby.
Oh.
Hey, what do you know about that?
Hey, we were here for the first.
Yep. And
How
here
about
for
that?
the 200th.
How about that?
Our bicentennial episode.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just made that up in my head, but I think it makes sense.
No,
I think
that's
I've heard
right.
it. It's right? Okay, cool.
Bison. Yeah, you're
We
right.
made it to 200, man.
Man, that's incredible.
You haven't killed me yet either?
No, and honestly, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Not possible without all of you.
Oh, yeah, great point.
So thank all of you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
200 and beyond.
Yep.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Not possible without you.
And you know what? For that, I got the special tribute video. I'm joking. I did it.
Well,
That would have been nice.
we'll work on that for 300.
300.
Right?
Tricentennial.
Right?
Did you think it was actually going to happen? A little tribute video?
No, but to be fair, I didn't think 200 would happen either. Here we are.
Look at us.
Who would have thunk it?
Hey, you want to tell us what your favorite part of 200 episodes has been?
Oh.
Email us, thechat@nesson.com. You could also tweet at us using the hashtag NessonChat as well. We got a full show for you guys. We're going to talk Patriots Chiefs Dynasty, because that is a big topic right now.
Yep.
Chiefs are making a threat. Patriots aren't going to give it up. We also, Utah Hockey Club, Utah Wasatch.
Who?
Yep. We'll talk about that. We go through our top 3 great Super Bowl moments, and we got a little Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift combo.
Oh.
There's a bet I will be placing.
Oh.
You will find out. First, let's start with the
right.
Dynasty, man.
It's a nice tee.
Chiefs could be the first team to ever three-peat in the Super Bowl era.
Yep.
So, of course, that would put the Chiefs at winning 4 Super Bowls.
Yes.
If they three-peat.
Yes.
They three-peat. Went 3 straight.
Yeah.
They'd also win 4 Super Bowls over a 6-year window.
It's impressive.
But, I mean, the Patriots won 6 over from 2001 to 2018, 17-year span.
Right.
They've been to 9 Super Bowls, won 17 division titles. And you could say everyone's debating which dynasty is better. What do you think?
It's not a debate.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's too premature to debate it. I've been asked that, not only here at Nesson on our shows where we talk about it, and that's what we do for a living, but I mean, my friends, I get text messages when I'm hanging out drinking with my buddies. It's like, hey, what do you think? Are the Chiefs a better dynasty? I'm like, slow down, man. Like, George just gave you the numbers. Some of this is longevity. You have to do it for a long time. Now, I can't deny, none of us can, how prolific it is what the Chiefs are doing.
Yeah.
The other thing I think we need to slow down and just take a woo-saw, a breath with here, is just giving them a three-peat. I mean, it's almost as if when we do these debates and we start talking about Patriots Dynasty or Chiefs Dynasty, which it is a dynasty. Let me give the Chiefs some props here. But it's almost too familiar, too easy. Well, they're going to three-peat, first team to ever. Are you watching the Eagles? I mean, the way that defense plays, the way Saquon Barkley's playing, I don't think it's some foregone conclusion that the Chiefs just three-peat here. I understand not betting against them. Lord knows I get that. I've lost enough money, and I've won some betting on the Chiefs, just like I did the Patriots Dynasty. But it's too premature to give them a three-peat, A, and B, to right now compare them to that long-standing Patriots Dynasty. I'm willing to have some individual conversations. I'm willing to have Kelsey Gronk. I'm willing to have Andy Reid Belichick.
Yeah.
I'm not quite willing to go Mahomes Brady yet, because Brady clearly has that head-to-head over him.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can recognize if Mahomes can play a long time, he's going to need more rings than Tom.
Yeah.
He has to get more rings because of the head-to-head.
He needs to get 8.
That's what I mean.
Insane.
So but even I understand these individual conversations when it comes to sort of a monolithic way of thinking, this big picture, whose dynasty was better. It's just too premature.
Yeah. It would be, if he wins this, that would be 4 Super Bowl wins for him in his first 7 seasons as a starter for Patrick Mahomes, which is nuts. But to get to 7 is tough. Look, the Patriots dynasty spans 19 seasons.
Right.
From 2001 to 2007, they've been to 4 Super Bowls. They won 3. The first 3 in a 4-season span. Then from 2011 to 2018, they went to 5 Super Bowls.
Wow.
Lost to the Eagles. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Am I cheating on one? Yeah, they've been to 5, sorry. But they lost to the Giants again, the Eagles, and man, am I really off on my Super Bowls? Anyway. Oh, yeah, Giants, Eagles. Yeah, been to 9.
That they lost
3. All right, bad math by me, excuse me. I'm just like thinking there's one in there. But I think that's how insane that run is from 2011 to 2018 to go to 5 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
And then win 3 of those. And they win them in 14, 16, and 18. And think about, there's also that appearance against the Eagles where they lose by a touchdown, 41-33 in a shootout.
Yeah.
They could have 3-peated because it was 16 win,
That's right.
28-3 comeback, 17 lost to Eagles in a shootout, 2018 win against the Rams 13-3, where their defense just dominates the Sean McVay offense and Jared Goff. But it's a fact that over 19 years, they went to 9 Super Bowls, countless AFC championship games, a run of 8 straight mixed in there in the latter half from 2011 to 2018.
Sure.
8 straight AFC championship games. And then the pillars of that dynasty, Belichick, Brady, were there from 2001 to 2018.
Yeah.
From the first Super Bowl win to the last, to all 6 that they got together. When the dynasty spans that long, a three-peat puts you number 2. It puts you in a league of your own.
It does.
But when it stretches that long, that's what you have to respect.
Yeah.
Now, if Mahomes gets a three-peat, and that would be 4 in a 7-year span, like I said, okay. Then if they get another, let's say it's 5 in a 9-year span.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
If they get 6 in less than 19 years, all right. Then that's a whole different type of dynasty to talk about.
Yeah.
You got to get there first, and you got to get to your 3rd straight.
Yeah, I think
You
so.
got to get to 4.
That's why I still think it's premature. And I think you're better off having debates of individuals, like I said.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm taking Gronk over Kelsey all time because Gronk was a complete tight end. He could block like nobody's business. Kelsey's a good blocker. Gronk was a great all-time blocker. And then we know what he did as a
full
pass
package.
catcher. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go Gronk over him, although Kelsey's more
Gronk's better than Kelsey.
Kelsey's more durable. We can all admit that. But I think Gronk was a more complete tight end than Kelsey all time, my opinion.
Yeah.
I also, as I told you, right now am willing to go Brady over Mahomes because he beat him head-to-head and he has more rings. The end.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes, keep doing what you're doing, and we can have that discussion later. For now, it's not a discussion to me. The only one I'll give the Chiefs, Andy Reid is greater than Bill Belichick. I'm willing to go there. You know why? First of all, Andy Reid's done it with multiple quarterbacks. Now,
Gotten to the Super Bowl.
Gotten to Super Bowl, had winning divisions, winning conferences.
Yeah.
McNabb, Alex Smith. Now, Mahomes put him over the top. We understand that. But Bill can't even have a conversation about being put over the top. Like before Tom Brady, what are we really talking about for Bill Belichick?
Yeah.
So I am willing now. Andy Reid, who did it with multiple quarterbacks, multiple places. Yeah, Andy Reid, I'll take him. I watched Bill Belichick get outcoached by Doug Peterson in a Super Bowl, for God's sakes. You brought that Super Bowl up. I'll never forget that. Tom Brady, I've never seen Tom Brady better than that game, and that was a loss. His numbers from that game were absurd. Brady was absurd in that game. Bill Belichick got outcoached by Doug Peterson. That's the one I'll give the Chiefs. I think Andy Reid's a greater coach than Bill Belichick. But that's the only one. I think
Bill
I'll
did it
take
in
Brady and I'll take Gronk over. And right now, I'll
Yeah.
take the Patriots dynasty.
And Belichick did it in 2 different eras of football. I mean, the early 2000s, it was defense, running the ball. Tom Brady wasn't special yet. And then you get into the 2010s, it's a quarterback's league. Everything's changed. How you build defenses, the type of players you need. So, and think about it like this. The Patriots dynasty spans so long, fans of the Rams of St. Louis and fans of the Rams of Los Angeles both hate the Patriots because they beat both of the iterations of that team. Mm-hmm. That's how long it ran. Like Panthers, Eagles, Rams, Seahawks, Falcons, Rams. Like that's what they did.
Yeah, he also deserves credit for going to Brady. No one gives him that credit, but that took a lot of stones at that time to give Brady the starting nod. I'm not saying Bill Belichick's not some great coach, but at least if we're comparing these dynasties, I can look at the coach and say, okay, I like the Chiefs guy a little bit more. I think Andy Reid has done more. You talk about how Belichick spanned different iterations of the NFL, so is Andy Reid.
Yeah.
And again, as giving Belichick credit for going to Brady in the first place and sticking with him, Listen, Andy Reid's done it with different quarterbacks too. Donovan McNabb, Alex Smith.
Yeah.
I mean, he deserves credit for that. I just think that's the only argument I'm willing to take or willing to have right now. Andy Reid or Belichick. I'll have that debate all day. Gronk and Kelsey, no. Gronk was a more complete player. Brady and Mahomes, premature for Mahomes to even be in that.
You know what Andy Reid had that Bill Belichick didn't, though? Especially in the 2010s? Andy Reid had a good general manager.
He did.
Belichick didn't, and it was himself.
Fair.
So that's how a lot could be different.
That's fair.
At that part. Hey, I had Chris Hogan on. We had him on at Foxborough Rush earlier in the week. We spoke about what it was like playing for Bill Belichick, what he thinks of Drake May and Josh McDaniels' offense, and also that 28-3 comeback as well. Check it out right here. When you look back on that time, too, of like you said, to learn all those different things, how demanding the system is, how demanding the culture is, we'll see something that mirrors that with Mike Vrabel and Josh McDaniels for sure. Do you think Drake May, from what you see, he can grasp that and run with that system? Because I have the confidence in it. And what you speak about with Josh McDaniels, there's the adaptability he'll bring that many people underrate about his approach to coaching.
Yeah, I think that Josh and Drake are going to get along great. Drake seems like a very bright, talented young quarterback. I think that he's going to be eager to learn from Josh. I mean, how could you not, right? Josh worked with Tom Brady for almost 2 decades, right? This was the greatest quarterback of all time. How could you not want to be in the same room with Josh, where you're going to be watching film of Tom Brady do exactly what he's going to be asked of you to do on the field? I mean, that to me is like the perfect, formula for him to go out there and be successful. So I think that Josh is going to have to adapt a little bit to how Drake learns and how quickly he's able to kind of digest the information that's being thrown at him. But I also think that Josh is going to do a good job of challenging Drake, knowing that he's a smart kid, knowing that he's going to probably want to take a lot on. And I think that Drake's got to put that on his shoulders to try to get this offense up to speed as quickly as possible once they get in there into the facility with Josh and they go day one install. And listen, this is going to be Drake's team. And he's got to let his offense know, and he's got to get them all up to speed and really put that on himself.
What was that 2016 season like? Because you talk about the adaptability of Josh McDaniels. I think back to Cam Newton, to Mac Jones, to dealing with the quarterbacks that they was being dealt and how he adapted the offense. I mean, from Brady, Newton, to Mac Jones. But what was that 2016 season like where Josh McDaniels throughout the year had to go Jimmy Garoppolo, Jacoby Brissett, and then eventually Tom Brady returned to the team?
Yeah, he in those games, that we had Jimmy and the game that we had Jacoby, who, had a broken finger and could barely hold on to a football, and we still had Texans came in and we blew them out. We did what we were good at, right? And we did what Josh made play calls and formations, and the way that he went about calling those games was, I'm not going to put my quarterback in a bad position. I'm going to do what he's good at. I'm going to put him in a good position, something that he's comfortable in, and then rely on the veterans of the team, the Julians, the Gronks, myself, Danny, the guys on the offensive line, LeGarrette Blount, James White, James Devlin. I'm going to rely heavily on those guys to make this go. And I think Jimmy was the same thing. Jimmy had a lot of talent, and he was really good and played really well for us in those couple of games that he played. But again, we did things that Jimmy was good at. We did some more stuff outside of the pocket because Jimmy was able to move a little bit better than Tom, and he had the legs. So I think there's going to be some of these different things that you're going to start seeing with Drake is, he can see the field, but he's also very athletic, and he can extend plays. And as a receiver, I would be pretty excited to play for a kid that can extend football plays, because that's only going to turn into big plays down the field and stuff that you're kind of looking for to change field position, chunk plays, and put some points on the board.
Yeah, what excited me, the hires that they've made so far, like Riley Larkin, just an offensive assistant, but bringing him from Ohio State and what Chip Kelly did with Will Howard this past year. Drake May, much more athletic, better arm, but he's going to not just use his legs, like you say to do, Chris, not just make sure to bring his athleticism in it, but use it the right way and maximize his potential. Man, I couldn't bring you on with bringing up the 28-3 comeback. You had that huge catch on third down leading to the game-tying touchdown. You had the huge catch in overtime leading to the game winner. Whenever you look back on that, I'm sure you asked about it all the time. Just how did you guys do it?
I don't know, man. When that game comes on TV, and I still get nervous watching that football game, even knowing what the ending is going to come out to, because you watch it from start to finish, and you just say, "Damn! Like, how does this team come back in a football game like this against a Atlanta Falcons team that was very, very good?" Listen, a lot of things have to go your way, and what I loved about 2016, what I loved about 2017, and even the 2018 team, that team was we added some pieces to the puzzle every single year, but no matter, there was no quit in that team. Even throughout the season, we dealt with adversity very well. We were able to handle adversity. We were able to overcome challenges. We were able to overcome obstacles. And that was an enormous obstacle and challenge for us to overcome. But it just came down to us just kind of understanding what we needed to do. And we needed some things to kind of the ball to bounce our way. And we needed our defense to kind of come up with some big plays. And our offense needed to put points on the board. And, we came out in that second half really like it was a 0-0 game. And we just kept playing, and I think all of a sudden you look up in the fourth quarter and we're down by a touchdown, and you just don't even understand how we even got to this point. But you go down, you get a big drive, big catches by Julian, Danny, myself, and obviously James White had the game of his life. And you go down, you score a touchdown, tie the game, and we got the ball in overtime. I knew it was a wrap. And once we had the ball on the goal line and we called that play, that was a play that we worked on for weeks and weeks. And it was always successful when we had competitive periods against our starters on defense. And I knew we were winning the football game there, man. And that's a pretty surreal moment to understand that you're going to win a Super Bowl and B, to win a Super Bowl in that fashion in overtime when you were down 25 points, man. I mean, yep. That was an unreal moment for me personally, and then for that entire team to do it like that, man. It was pretty cool. It was a highlight easily. That was it has to be, right? I mean, how could it not be one of the highlights of your career? I was fortunate to go to another Super Bowl that year, the year after, and another one the year after that. So, it became a thing in New England, but you'll never get over that first one.
Yeah, we had James on, and what boggles my mind when we asked him the same thing of, you guys didn't score your first touchdown until late in the third quarter. When it got to that fourth quarter, what is even said in the huddle as you guys are still mounting that comeback? Like, what is Tom Brady telling you guys in the huddle? What are your teammates saying to you in the huddle? Or is anything even said at that point?
Nothing, even at halftime, man. Other than you hear the rah stuff about Julian yelling, "This is going to be a great comeback," and I remember Duron Harmon being pretty vocal about that kind of stuff. There was nothing said. We knew that we just had gone out and played the worst half of football that we had put together all year round. And when we came out in that second half, it wasn't pressure. It wasn't Tom saying like, "Oh my God, like we need this." It was just like, "Hey, go out there, do your job. If I come to you, make a play, take advantage of the opportunity, and we're just going to keep chip away at this thing and kind of see what happens. Let's play good football. Let's do what we've been doing. Let's get positive plays. Let's let our defense make some plays for us, and then we'll see what happens. But let's not go out here and just hang our heads because we didn't play well in the first half. Like, we know what we were capable of. We knew that we could put points on the board, and we just needed those opportunities. And thankfully, our defense played exceptionally well in that second half, gave us the ball back a few times, and we were able to put points on the board.
If you went back to that kid that was going to high school at Ramapo, playing football, but then accepted a lacrosse scholarship to Penn State, and you said, "Hey, you're going to be in 3 Super Bowls one day. You're going to win 2. You're going to play with the greatest quarterback of all time, and you're going to be an impact player in those Super Bowls." What would he say to you?
He'd probably say that you're crazy, but also, that's what you dream about as an athlete, as a football player. And if you're going to tell me that, your hard work and all the stuff that you do and your approach to the game and your work ethic, and that's going to all pay off for you in the long run, then yeah, I could believe that, because, I was a guy that wanted to be in the locker room at, before 6 a.m. and I wouldn't leave until after 6, and I wanted to watch film, and I was eager to learn, and I was like that throughout my whole career, and I was like that even before I got to the NFL. I loved the process. I had to trust the process, and I had to get opportunities. And I was very fortunate to get opportunities early on in my career. And when I got them, I had to make the most of them. And I just had to give them reasons why not to get rid of me every single year. And yeah, was that stressful as hell to do that every single year, and to not want your phone to ring on a Tuesday or the day after training camp ends, to kind of sit there just waiting for a phone call. Yeah, it's stressful, man, but I'd go back and do it all over again in a heartbeat.
What was it like when you look back? Who was that guy that was like a mentor for you? Whether he was when you were in training camp, say with the Dolphins or Niners, or when you were with Buffalo or New England, who was like that one player or maybe a coach that was a huge mentor for you that helped you out so much down the road?
There's a guy in Buffalo, Fred Jackson, was a huge mentor of mine. To this day, I mean, he was just like, he was like almost like a father figure to me. He had been in the league for so long, and he had come from nothing and made himself one of the best running backs that Buffalo has ever had, and helped that team win football games. It was a huge part of that community. But I think for what I learned from Fred the most was really how to be a pro. His approach to the game, how he studied, how he took care of his body. Those were things that I didn't necessarily, I don't want to say I didn't do well, but I had a lot to learn in that way where, this is a grind. This is a grind from August all the way till January, and you need to be able to play at peak performance every single Sunday, no matter how your body's feeling. There are things that you can do to kind of facilitate that and get you better. And so for me to have him in that locker room, I leaned on him a lot, and I learned a lot from him, really just by watching too. I didn't have to ask questions, man. I just watched these guys. I watched the guys that did it in the league, that were successful in the league. When I got to New England, it was Tom, right? I watched Tom. How does Tom study? How does he take care of himself? Tom and Alex Guerrero changed my career, man. I mean, they kept me on the field. They helped me. They changed my whole perspective of how I can take care of myself better, how I can recover faster. They helped me tremendously in my career, that I kind of took on, even after I left New England, was something I could carry with me, and then also pass on to the younger generation. Teaching these kids about, listen, I know how good of an athlete you are, but this is different, man. Going out there on a Sunday and playing against NFL players every single weekend, it's hard. It's hard, and you're gonna not feel great every single week, and you're not going to feel good on Wednesdays when you got to put full pads on. You're not going to feel great on Thursdays, but the more that you can do, the more prep that you can put in, the more work that you can put in, that's only going to help you get to Sunday, so that when the Sunday comes around, obviously you feed off on that adrenaline a little bit about being underneath the lights and being in front of the fans, but making sure that you're doing all the little things to get you there is really, the stuff behind the scenes that people don't really know about or see. And that's what separates, I think. Obviously, great players perform on Sundays, and they put up the stats and they do all the stuff and they make the plays. But I think what separates really great players is what they do before Sunday. In the weeks leading up to it, their prep, their study, how they watch film, how they take care of their body, what they do in the off season. Those are the guys that you're going to hear about long after their career ends, and probably they're the type of guys that end up over there in Canton, Ohio, right, with a gold statue and something that's going to cement their legacy for forever, right? We're going to see one of the greatest, and I was lucky to play with one of the greatest too, and he'll be there. He should already be there, but he'll be there.
Hey, shout out to number 22, Fred Jackson with Buffalo and all that. And you bring up what he taught you with the preparation with your body, what you picked up all along the way. And I've asked you ad nauseum about Josh McDaniels. I haven't even asked you about Bill Belichick. Same thing. Like, again, because your journey is so impressive to go from what you did in college to get to that point. What was it like when you stepped in that building and you're first around Bill Belichick and you're in meetings with him, getting coached by him, getting yelled at by him, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. But the first team meeting, I'm sitting there, and they had lost to Denver in the AFC Championship game. So we're obviously sitting in there, and he immediately throws up clips of this. Right? So I hadn't been there, and he's going after Tom, he's going after Gronk, and that was my eye-opening experience of this guy expects everyone. He doesn't care who it is, what round you were drafted in, starting quarterback, practice squad player, it does not matter. His expectation is that you're going to be a championship type player. You're going to come in, you're going to perform, you're going to know how to do your job, and you're going to do it well. And if you don't, you're out, right? And so that was eye-opening to me in so many ways. And yeah, listen, was I on the wrong end of some of these bad ball films throughout my 3 years there? 100%. And does it suck? Yeah, it does, man. When Bill's going after you for, drop pass, or he's telling you that Foxborough High School can play better than you, or you get a stupid mental error. I mean, these things happen. But also, he did it to the guys that he knew could handle it. Mm-hmm. He did it to the guys like Julian, right? Who's not going to be sensitive about it. He's just going to take it like a man, and he's going to go in and correct it, and he's going to let it not happen again. And if it does, he's going to get chewed out again. But again, just continuously go to work knowing that this is not personal, man. This guy was about winning football games. And sure, it might have felt personal at sometimes, but it wasn't. That's all he cared about. He cared about winning football games, winning championships. And Bill was, being coached by him, he just the stuff that he prepared us for every single week and throughout training camp. I mean, you'd be amazed at the stuff that he would start talking about, and then all of a sudden it would happen in a game. A punt, fair catch to lead to an extra, try to get a field goal kick, or this guy, this punter, he's got not great hands, so we're going to rush him because I know he's going to drop a football, or he's going to fumble a snap. And sure enough, you go into a game and there it is, fumbled snap, and all these things because he's a student of the game, and you have to be able to respect him for that and how much film that he watches and prep that he does. And, like I said, I learned a lot from Josh and Tom, but, I learned so much from Coach Belichick just in those meeting rooms. If you really pay attention, man, you get your history lessons throughout the year, but you learn about football, and you learn how he approaches the game and how to approach the game the right way.
I got to imagine it helped that you were a former lacrosse player, though, because he's got a weak spot for the sport. That had to give you something with him.
Yeah. Maybe for the first 5 minutes of my short visit, where it's you're a lacrosse player, you love lacrosse. He's he's a big Hopkins guy, so he's got some Hopkins helmets in his office, and he's got the sticks and everything, and that broke the ice for me for the first couple of minutes. But then it's okay, cool. You like lacrosse, I like lacrosse. How are you going to help this team win football games? I think we had some playful banter in the springtime, when throughout the season, and Penn State started to come on, and they started to get better, and if they were playing Hopkins, you pick your battles, I guess, or times you want to actually have a conversation with them. So if it was passing in the hallway between meetings, probably not the best time, but maybe, in the morning, if he comes up or he's there and you can get that feeling that he's not locked in and watching film or something. Say, hey, coach, did you watch Hopkins' game? What'd you think? So I always had fun with that, and he was great to play for.
All right, let's get into what's trending. You guys know it, 3 topics, 3 minutes per topic. We got a timer up on the screen, a buzzer you will hear at the end of each topic as well. Trav.
Yo.
Utah Hockey Club will not be moving forward with Yeti.
Thank God.
Or Yetis.
Good.
Plural. As its team nickname, will hold a new in-arena fan vote to pick a new one.
Right.
There was copyright issues with Yeti. Okay. They moved forward with either Utah Hockey Club, Mammoth, or Utah Wasatch.
Who?
Wasatch. It's a mountain range out there.
What?
Utah Hockey Club then came out and said, hey, we heard it. We're dropping Wasatch.
Yeah.
And they're adding Outlaws. They don't know what the hell they're doing.
Outlaws?
So it could be Utah Hockey Club, Utah Mammoths, or Utah Outlaws. Just picture this. And by a final score of 6-1, the Utah Mammoths fall to 1-14 to start the season. By final score of 5-2, the Utah Outlaws are now
I don't like that.
13-27 on the season.
I don't like either.
And head back home to their arena.
Outlaw Arena.
Yep.
God, dog. That's terrible.
Or by a final score of 2-1, the Utah Hockey Club has won its first game in the last 17 tries.
Okay, I'm there. By the way, I'm
Utah Hockey Club?
Yeah, I am. You know why? I'm uniquely equipped to talk about this. I was on air
WFT.
the day
Yeah.
the Washington Redskins dropped their name and
Yeah.
went to the Washington football team.
Ooh.
Can I tell you, I took calls for 3 straight hours of angry fans
Yeah.
of how bad Washington football team sounded.
Yeah.
They hated the name.
Yeah.
1 season later, so they played 1 season as a Washington football team.
Yeah.
1 season later,
Uh-huh.
they changed the name to Commanders. I was on air that day.
Ooh.
I took 3 hours of phone calls of angry fans
I hate
saying we should have stuck with the Washington football team. It grew on me. Commanders stinks, and it still stinks. Just stick with it.
Yeah.
Utah Hockey Club. No, when you said it, when it was named, we thought that's lazy. What are you doing? It's been around long enough now.
Yeah.
Everyone's used to saying it. These other names stink. Stick with it.
Interesting. Definitely. At least they got rid of Wasatch.
That was
Wasatch.
terrible.
Wasashi. Wasatch. I don't even know. It's a mountain range. Utah Outlaws. It sounds like a minor, like a wood
Yes.
bats league in the middle of
Yeah.
Illinois.
Ain't no damn outlaws in
No.
Utah.
Yeah, I know. It's a bunch of Mormons.
There's no outlaws.
They can't even drink regular Coca-Cola.
Right. Ain't nobody
You
outlaw.
tell me there's an outlaw?
Ain't no outlaw.
No. It's soft out there.
No.
Utah Mammoths?
That's too hard to say. Right? Mammoths? That doesn't roll off the tongue.
Just be the Utah Hockey Club and have your mascot be a Yeti wearing a
Sure.
UHC jersey.
Done.
Yeah.
By the way, you know who got it right?
Who?
The Utah Utes.
That would have been a good one.
Utes.
And then you have the judge from My Cousin Vinny doing like an
Two
intro
Utes.
video. 2 what? 2 Utes.
Are you saying youths? Yeah, the 2 Utes.
2 what? Sure, it's Joe Pesci. I don't know why I'm saying the judge said that.
The Utes got it right.
Man, Cam Newton,
Oh,
And what
I
if it-
hate this story.
at one of his hats,
I hate it.
said on First Take he wouldn't trade his NFL MVP for a Super Bowl championship.
Oh, man.
To make it even worse, is that a video? Okay, watch a video. Wait
is
for it.
terrible.
Wait for it.
You're waiting for
Because
the
Stephen
hat,
A. asked
aren't
him a
you?
question. Look at that hat. Okay.
I knew you were waiting on the hat.
He said, I'm taking individual success because I did my job. He also said, what's more important, impact or championships? Bruh.
Yeah.
Championships. People forget Cam Newton ever won an MVP. People don't forget who wins Super Bowls. He even said that too. He's like, what is mentioned more? Trent Dilfer as a Super Bowl or Cam Newton won an MVP? Trent Dilfer and Brad Johnson in their pasty asses won Super Bowls. Yeah. More people remember that than Cam Newton won an MVP. The dumbest thing. He said it, and I go, let me hear the logic. And just when he opened up, what's more important, impact or championships? If you win a championship, that's your impact on the game.
That's right.
He was the best dual threat quarterback we've ever seen. He was so dominant at the peak of his powers. If he won a Super Bowl, that would have put him one of one. Because a quarterback with his skill set hasn't won one. Like to be the best player on the team.
Yeah.
Hasn't won one.
Yep.
He would be that guy.
Yeah, you're right.
Absolutely insane for him to say that. There are no bad takes. That's an awful take.
It's an awful take. I just think and look, he was being honest, and I think it's just insightful to his psyche.
Yeah,
and he
about me.
said it. I mean, he owns it. I can't really knock him because he's being honest, and this is how he feels. But he's like, look, my individual performance tells me I did my job. What that says to me is you're one of those placing blame types, right?
Yeah.
Like, well, we lost the Super Bowl, but it wasn't my fault. We all remember that Super Bowl, don't we?
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't dive into a pile for a fumble.
Yeah.
At his size, it is not far-fetched to think if he dives into the pile for said fumble, he could win that scrum and come up with the ball. He didn't do it. There's an iconic picture, an iconic shot of all these guys jumping in to jump on this loose football, and Cam Newton's just standing there, just looking. Right there. It's right in front of you.
Yep.
Wouldn't dive and do it. And there was a lot of questioning after that Super Bowl about that. And he didn't answer it. Kind of passed the buck. So this is consistent with who he is. I like Cam Newton. I was a huge fan of him as a player. I think he does a good job on TV with those stupid-ass hats. But, I mean, this is who he is.
Yep.
And we have to be careful in society, too. If you ask someone a question and they give you an answer and they own it, even if it's something you disagree with or you don't like.
Fair.
We got to just relax on, well, this guy's a piece of shack, right? Like, he's being honest with you. It's disappointing, especially at the quarterback position where you're supposed to be a leader. That's not leadership, right?
Yeah.
It's not leadership.
And that's the way I look at it. Like, when you're the quarterback,
Yes.
you doing your job is winning your team championships. You touch a ball every single play of every single game.
That's right.
On offense.
That's right.
Super Bowl ads have been sold for $8 million for a 30-second spot. The league that won't put a chip in their football is making $8 million per 30-second Super Bowl ad, selling at least 10 spots at that level. So Fox getting all this.
That's crazy.
NFL, of course, gets a cut. That's why you want the Super Bowl. It's insane. $8 million for a 30-second ad. And honestly, like, Super Bowl commercials lately aren't as memorable
Thank you.
as they once were.
That's where I was going.
You know which one I'll never forget? I think it was a Budweiser commercial. The Wazza.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
That was
Calls? He's like, "What's up, bro? What are you
iconic.
doing?" Like, just saying Wazza.
Iconic.
Guy walks in. Wazza.
By the way, that wasn't $8 million to create. That was
No.
some guy's apartment.
Yeah, it's absolutely
It's like-
genius. Or I think honestly, I think Budweiser's crush it every time.
They do.
The frogs one, because sometimes they'll get replayed.
That's right.
That's what they go with, where it's like Bud.
And they have the horses, Clydesdale horses.
Blood.
Yeah, Budweiser gets it right. But I agree with you. Like, lately, let's call it maybe last 5-10 years or so, the commercials haven't been great. Although the best commercial last year, or maybe it was 2 Super Bowls ago, I don't even know. You'll probably remember this. But it was Matt Damon, J-Lo, and Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
And it was with the
Duncan?
tracksuits. Was that last year or 2 years? I don't even know.
I think it was 2 years ago.
But like, that was a great commercial. I'm sure that cost a pretty penny. Shout outs to Duncan, who we love.
Yep.
But that's, at least in recent years, that's the last memorable one truly that sticks out, that could be in any era of Super Bowl great commercials.
Yeah.
But in totality, they've stunk.
Yeah.
What are you paying all this money for in these commercials stink?
Right. It's like the best ones are like the simple ones, the simplicity of them.
You know the one I'm talking about with the tracksuits and all that? That was hilarious.
I know. Those Duncan tracksuits are like the hottest commodity everywhere too. It's like, I think of the one, it always gets play around the holidays, a Corona commercial.
The chasing summer on the beach and all that.
No, it's just like dark and so much plugs in a tree and it lights it up. It's like a palm beach.
Yeah.
It's like
I
find your
that.
beach. It's
I
it.
do
Simple.
like that.
It's like 15 seconds.
I like that.
It's 8 million, 30-second spot. Now, I mean, the Super Bowls get like 110 million viewers.
Sure.
This one's going to be interesting because you got a lot of Swifties watching the Super Bowl.
Oh.
Yep. Whole new audience to tap into. Yep.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Uh-huh.
So we're going to, that's true. How will that
We're going to see a whole
affect-
different type of stuff advertised. And a whole different audience reached.
I would love to just, maybe we can get someone on the show, some sort of ad genius person, and be like, is that $8 million worth it return on investment? Like in years past, I understand it, but the times have changed so much, and streaming and all this stuff.
And people look down on their phones
is
during
a return
commercial
of
breaks.
investment worth $8 million? I wonder.
Yeah. Buzzer says no. I don't know. We'll
Buzzer
find out.
says no.
Hey, if you're enjoying the conversation, be sure to tune in Monday through Friday to Boston has entered the chat. We talk everything sports and culture around the country and in Boston, of course, each and every day. You can find it on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Twitch, Amazon, wherever else you get your podcast. If you're watching on Nesson's YouTube page, hit the subscribe button as well. All right, so if we're going through Super Bowl commercials, our producer was like, "Hey, give us your top 3 greatest Super Bowl moments."
Moments. Okay.
Let's go 3 to 1.
All right. 3 to 1.
So you got your number 1.
So we build suspense.
Yes.
All right.
What's number 3 for you?
Janet Jackson's wardrobe malfunction.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, what?
First of all, let's
That's
talk.
number 3.
Yes. I want to talk societal, and then I'll go personal. Societal, this changed TV. It changed Super Bowls. The NFL wasn't playing around anymore.
Oh my God! I just saw that image. Okay.
It changed pop culture.
My heart
Like
stopped
it was
for a
that
moment.
was a culture mover. It was like when Will Smith slapped the hell out of Chris Rock. Like everyone talked about that for 2 weeks. We replayed it. Same thing with this. Now, so that's culturally. Personal, how funny. I was still a young man. I'm at home watching with my parents. It happened. We're all shocked, like everyone in America.
Yeah.
My dad, I watched him get into trouble. He goes, "Did that really just happen?" We're like, "I think so." he starts rewinding it. So we watch once or twice. Then he keeps rewinding it, and he's pausing, and he's freeze framing. My mom called on, wait a minute. I know what you're doing. And I'm watching this whole thing like a tennis match. Like they're going back and forth. And that's when I realized my dad had messed up. So for me, it's a memorable moment forever.
All right, I like that. I mean, I think I was in like 4th or 5th grade. I remember distinctly at that time I went to CCD on Monday nights. Sal Brigatti, Salvatore Brigatti.
Shout outs to CCD.
My CCD classmate was like, George, you see Super Bowl last night? I go, yeah. He's like, you see the halftime show? And my CCD teacher's like, all right, bring it back in.
You gotta reel them back.
All right. Now, look, I went halftime show too.
Okay.
For my number 3.
All right.
I just want to think about it. It's moments.
Okay.
Super Bowl moments.
Thinking of all the great
I went
halftimes.
Shakira, J-Lo halftime.
Oh, fantastic.
And I'm speaking selfishly.
Fantastic.
I'm speaking for both, 10-year-old George
Sure.
and 30-year-old George.
It was a wonderful show.
Exactly. Big fan.
Yeah, me
awesome.
too.
Shakira did it they made the weird sound. It's a Lebanese thing. She's half Lebanese, half Colombian. Insane combination. So yeah, that's my number 3.
Shout outs to them. They did a great job.
What's your number 2 then?
I'm going to go Beyonce turning off the lights. Now.
No.
Yeah,
No,
I am.
wait.
I am.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Here's why,
How
George.
are you No. We're
Yeah.
talking Super Bowls.
I
and
know.
your 3 and 2 are halftime.
No, this affected the game. That's where I'm going here.
No, you could if you went with New Orleans Superdome malfunctioning. Like she's not standing in the corner in a custodial closet unplugging something.
Au contraire,
dude,
my
you
frere.
went no play.
Yeah.
Twice.
Because the 49ers came back.
It's
She
our
turned off the
producer,
light.
Ethan.
What? This was her. This was Beyonce. You set the Ravens up. I know what you did.
Look, this
you turned
is-
off the lights. The Niners came back, and it still didn't work. No one puts Beyonce and makes her accountable
No,
for
puts
turning
baby
off
in
the
the corner.
lights.
You have no football.
Can I ask you
It
both?
affected the game.
Can I ask you both a question?
What?
Are we going to talk about what actually happens on the football field?
Yeah. affected the
I have that for
game.
2 and 1. I don't have 2 halftime shows.
But
Where did you come from?
I came from the door. We are 3 moments in from the door, Travis.
I blame him.
We are 3 moments in,
Bro,
and
came out
I
of
hear
left field.
halftime show. I have a list here.
Oh, God.
Malcolm Butler's interception to
Yeah.
seal the Patriots
Yeah.
Super Bowl win
That could be
over
number
the
2 on
Seattle
certain lists.
Seahawks.
Why
Yeah.
didn't he start
Ben
against the Eagles?
Roethlisberger throwing the game-winning touchdown
screw
pass to
him.
Santonio Holmes.
Bill's
Who
going wide
cares?
right.
Who
How
cares?
about the throw from Joe Montana to his man Taylor, one of the biggest catches in Super Bowl history?
That was the 80s.
Or what about the Buffalo Bills, who, shout out to them, can't seem to find a way to
Yeah,
even
the
get
wide
back
right.
to a Super
Yeah.
Bowl?
Wide right.
Yeah.
There are so many things that you both could be talking about.
George
Look,
wasn't even
I-
born then.
I look at my number 2, David Tyree catch. The
Oh, there you go.
Thank
the
you.
singular
There
greatest
you go.
catch. Wait, what do you mean? There you go. You went 3 and 2 at halftime.
yeah, you're
Beyonce
guilty on
turned
this.
out the lights, and it affected the game.
Kill the momentum.
Yes.
Come on. I have David
That was a
Tyree
great-
that catch
Tyree
number 2.
was a great catch.
Dude, that is Eli
I'll take
Manning
that.
fighting off Richard Seymour. Maybe Vince Wilfork. No.
Danny bought time,
No.
chunked it, helmet, Harrison, good defense.
It
I'll
is
give you
a
that.
Hall of Fame defensive end
That's
holding
fine.
on to Eli's jersey. He evades it. And then David Tyree catching it over a Hall of Fame safety in Rodney Harrison.
That's fine.
When that happened, I go, nope, no way. And a young George Balekji took a long lap around the block in the middle of New Jersey, middle February night, because I could not believe what I saw.
Yeah.
That
none
is
of
the
us.
most insane play. And my number 1, I don't even want to hear your one. My number 1's 28-3 comeback.
Same. It's the same.
If that didn't exist, David Tyree's catch an actual moment, but the entire sequence of a 28-3 comeback is insane.
I agree. By the way,
He had 2 halftime shows.
hot take. No one ever says this. Julian Edelman's catch in that comeback is greater
Unbelievable.
than David Tyree's catch.
Well, the one, was it who caught it? It was Curse or something for the Seahawks. His ridiculous catch before the
Yes,
Butler
that was- yes,
interception.
that was nice.
When
Yeah.
that happened,
Yeah.
I go, the Patriots are never going to win a Super Bowl again. They're cursed. They have these ridiculous catches happen. David Tyree, Mario Manningham, then that guy that worked at Foot Locker. But James White right there scoring the game-winning touchdown.
I like
Hey,
our
I
list.
appreciate you coming in.
I
No,
like
I'm just
our
glad
list.
that we could get to a little bit of football.
I like our
and a
list.
segment
I
about
was gonna go
Super
there.
Bowl moments. A little too late.
I
Beyonce
like our
taking
list.
out the
Too
power?
late.
She did.
Janet,
no one holds her
you can't
accountable.
disagree with the Janet Jackson. That's a pivotal
That's a
moment
cultural
in the
moment.
world.
All right,
How come you're not
that's
giving
fair.
him a hard time for J-Lo and Shakira?
That's my
But you're
personal
in my
Because
face.
he had at least 2 football-related choices.
and he has no issue with J-Lo or Shakira.
Adam Vinatieri kicked a game-winning Super Bowl field goal twice.
Yeah, you know, that happens.
Twice.
I think our lists are perfect.
Beyonce
All right.
taking out the power. I appreciate you.
James Harrison returned a pick six 100 yards
Yeah.
in a Super Bowl.
Ran out of gas. Where'd you
He
even come
scored.
from?
The door.
The control room.
That was incredible.
Slam the
Just
door
pop-
shut.
It would've
George, you need to hit a
I
read,
feel like
'cause I gotta
next
get
time
outta
we
here.
do this, you just like pop up right here.
Could you imagine?
Like you levitate
Petition
up.
for a producer cam. We got to get in our control
You
room.
levitate up.
For more on the Red Sox offseason and more lists that include sports, check out Nesson's Baseball Podcast, 310 to Left. We know you have a lot of questions about the Sox future, and we ask the players, coaches, executives, alum, those same questions on 310 to Left. You can find it on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, wherever else podcasts are found. Speaking of all this, Trev,
That escalated quickly with our boy Ethan.
what could be another big moment
Yeah.
if Travis Kelce proposes to Taylor Swift
I think
after he
it's
wins
coming.
the Super Bowl? You
I-
think it's happening?
I called this ages ago when they started dating.
So there are prop bets you can bet. You can bet on the proposal happening.
Yep.
Yes is 5-1.
Sign me up.
Massive underdog.
Sign me up.
You're going to turn 100 bills into 500.
Absolutely.
Okay. No for a proposal minus 950.
Yeah, don't bet
Why
that.
would you not? If you're Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift at this point,
Well, he's got to win, George. If
but get
he
the cash grab.
loses,
But we see it all the time. Bowl games in college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You
he's
know,
got to win, though.
homecoming games in high school.
He's
Yeah,
gotta
it's fine.
win.
Bro, have that ring ready.
Have it ready.
Yeah.
If you win the game, three-peat, confetti's falling.
Yeah.
She comes out to hug you.
Mama Kelsey comes
Mama
down.
Kelsey comes down.
She keeps it in her purse.
Jason's there.
Yeah, Jason keeps it in his beard.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big Dom. No, Big Dom's with the Eagles.
That's what you
it.
do.
Kiss. Taylor saying, I'm so proud of you. Trav saying, I love you, baby. Drops down
Drops
on a
down.
ring. This stadium plays whatever song.
Boom.
Boom.
I saw your picture from your engagement, so I know you hit the knee. Do you know I never hit the knee?
Why not?
I was on the couch. We were on the couch. It was
yeah,
a
you had to-
moment.
you had to call it, yeah.
It was cuddles. There was a movie. Movie's over. Boom. I go right into my speech.
Well, yeah, you like black
Yeah.
out. You don't know what to say.
She said to me years later, you never hit your knee.
Oh,
And I asked,
and you said, yeah, because I got bad knees.
so, this is why you treat me this way. Okay.
There's no cartilage
Yeah,
left.
she didn't know. She didn't know all my CLs were gone.
I almost didn't because I was wearing nice pants. I'm like, damn it, just put your
No,
knee
you gotta
on.
do it.
You got to do it. There's also Taylor Swift shown during the national anthem. Yes, minus 120. No, plus 110.
I wouldn't bet that. You know
It's not
why?
a lot of juice for a pretty
Well,
much guaranteed bet.
I don't know. I think if you notice, like lately
They're cutting
during this
back?
run, they cut back. So I would be a little hesitant to bet a lot of Taylor Swift how many times we see her props. Because I think they purposefully may not show her a ton. Of course, you're going to get the entrance.
Yeah.
You're going to get the shot of her up in the box partying. But I just don't know when.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I make that bet. The proposal, I'm all in. I think he's doing it as long as the Chiefs win the game.
You could also go over under 1.5 of her showing her during the anthem. I would go under. They'll only show her once.
During the anthem,
Yeah.
I'd go under.
They'll go coach.
Yes.
QB.
They may not show her.
Kelsey, Swift, Jason Kelsey. Ooh.
They may not show her, bro.
They're gonna during the
anthem.
game.
During the
Oh,
anthem.
they're gonna show her during the
They
anthem.
may not show her. I'm telling you,
don't
there
know.
could be an effort here to let's keep our Taylor cutaways to a minimum.
You think?
They could. It's been that way lately. Like I said, the only thing that gives me trepidation, this is the Super Bowl. So it could be like, okay, we had this whole thing where we didn't show her as much this season.
Yeah.
But this is the Super Bowl. Let's blow it out. And we see her 13 times. I don't know.
Here's the last one. Travis Kelce and Chiefs win the Super Bowl. Same year that Swift wins Album of the Year for the Grammys. Plus 900. Now-
Okay. I would need to see the odds for that.
Taylor Swift, plus 350 to win Album of the Year.
She favorite?
Second best odds. Billie Eilish, minus 125. Hit Me Hard and Soft. Not literally, please. That's an album. I've listened to that album. Stinks.
Billie Eilish is?
Yeah, it's awful.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if there's voter fatigue. How many times has Taylor won Album of the Year?
Do you like the Chiefs to win this game?
No.
You're
I
undecided.
can't doubt Mahomes. I have a future on the Eagles, so
You're
I
undecided.
hedged and I laid the points. It's a 1.5 point
Yeah,
spread.
but your gut's undecided. I can tell.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Mahomes.
I don't. Man, I think I'd probably make this bet, bro.
That's the one I like.
By the way, I think the Eagles are a better team, but we've seen the Chiefs beat better teams.
But here's the thing. She's won it 4 times. Fearless, 1989, Folklore, and Midnights.
Okay.
While Billie Eilish...
She hasn't won any, has she? Am I making that up? I don't know much about her. I haven't listened to her music at all, actually.
Album of the year in 2020, her debut album.
Wow.
When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? I don't know. That's a good question.
Did you hear that album?
No, I don't listen to any of this.
You said you heard the album.
Oh, yeah, I was at my desk, and I'm like, let me hear track 1. Trash, track 2,
you did
trash.
Research purposes.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
But voter fatigue.
For Taylor, though.
Yeah. So that would lead to Billie Eilish winning. Now.
I don't know.
You could parlay.
Do you still have that list?
For who? What?
Album?
Who the nominees are?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I saw it. Yeah, hold on.
I'll filibuster because I just want to hear how many people I don't listen to.
Beyonce's on there. The Cowboy one.
Carter.
Yep. New Blue Sun, Andre 3000, no chance.
Andre 3000 is nominated for a flute album?
Yeah, come on. Short and Sweet, Sabrina Carpenter. Don't know who that is.
Yes, you do.
No.
I don't either.
Okay. F you. Chapel Roan. Is that a band? The Rise and Fall of the Midwest Princess. Chapel Roan.
I can't get over Andre 3000.
Brat, Charlie 13 or whatever, and then Billie Eilish.
We're never getting an Outcast
Jacob
reunion.
Collier, I don't know who that is.
We're never getting an Outcast reunion. This dude, I want to cuss so bad. This Joker made an album playing the flute and got nominated for we ain't never getting an Outcast reunion.
It's art. You would never understand.
Oh, Lord.
It's art.
I would probably make that bet. I would definitely do the proposal. I don't think I'd mess around with too many Taylor Swift cutaways, and I'd consider Album of the Year and the Super Bowl 9-1. My greed would take over. I'd probably make that bet.
Bet that at 9-1. Why not?
9-1 and proposal
she
at 5-1.
She puts out good music.
She does.
Can't deny it.
She does.
Don't deny greatness.
I'm a fan.
What if you went with Eagles win and Taylor gets Album of the Year? And that's where Travis proposes.
Nah, he can't.
At the Grammys.
If they lose, okay, I can get behind this.
All right.
All right.
He's Travis Thomas. I'm George Balekji. Thanks for watching. Boston has entered the chat. Episode 200, baby.
Woo!
We'll see you guys for 200 more new episodes dropping every Monday through Friday. Wherever you get your podcast, we'll see you guys on Monday. Have a good one.